Well, why we're farming is, I guess, my husband has actually been farming for 4 generations. So, our children will be fifth generation on this land, and so Ian is very keen, obviously, to take on the family farm and to keep it going in a different way. And so the farming comes from generational transfer and change, and that's why we are farming today here at Picot's farm. Our farm is 1,000 acres. We have a mixture between some fertile floodplain flats areas, and we also have, then we rise up into the hills, and we have very rocky timber, lots of timber and scrubby bush for Australia. So we have a really diverse property, which is very exciting because we can do lots of different things. And we also have less frost on the hills and then quite a lot of frost down the bottom. So we have a nice topography to play with. We have lots of ridges, and that means we can put some saddle dams in. We can put water high in the landscape, and which means that we can gravity feed water down. So we're very fortunate with in regards to the lay of the land on Picot's farm. And so we're busy with grass-fed beef at the moment. We are food producers, so we process our own animals that are born and bred on Picot's farm, and the local abattoir processes them, our local butcher packages them for us, we label them, and then we sell them to customers in Brisbane, Toowoomba and Warwick, so fairly local. And I think being local is quite important to us because we don't really want lots of food miles on our product. So it's nice to be able to sell some to local people and go to a local farmers market in Toowoomba and sell it there, so that you're really connecting with the customer, which I thoroughly enjoy. In 10 years' time, because we manage holistically, and our farm is very much about working with nature and ensuring our management, the tools we apply are actually stimulating the natural processes. So we're trying to build the soil, we're trying to get that party in the soil to come alive and be really vibrant so that we can grow lots more grass. But also because in our environment we have a wet summer usually and a dry winter, we really have a fairly small window of opportunity to grow the grass we need to feed the animals in summer. And this summer we've got green, but because we've had just recent rain. However, we haven't really grown the feed because we haven't had the rainfall we really need to grow the volume of feed and the height of the feed for the winter. And so if we don't get good rain in the next 2 to 3 weeks, then the weather starts to cool down and we stop growing grass, and our winter will be very tight in regards to the feed that we've got available for the animals. So, but we manage holistically and we move animals around. We move them on to fresh feed regularly based on the recovery of the grasses in summer, and in winter it is a feed budget. So we're actually just budgeting out what's in the paddock. So very early on in April, May, we can decide whether or not we have too many animals or not, which makes it a very good business decision, and it allows you to actually either look for adjustment or understand you might have a feed bill this winter, or you sell, and actually you sell before everyone else has worked out that it's going to be a tight winter. So you actually end up making more money and having money in the bank to restock when you do have grass later in the year. So we're also looking at doing some sheep meat, so the older sheep meat, so the hogget, and we'll be fencing the contours on the high parts of our property because that's obviously where we can run sheep and there's lots of herbage for sheep. And the additional thing, because we have such beautiful views, as you can see behind me, we'll also be putting in some camping and also cabins for people to stay in, so people can really enjoy our property and go for bushwalks, enjoy the birds, enjoy the landscape, and be part of the farm. So we're very excited about those developments. And longer term, I'd like to think we might be doing some crops, some trees, and some natural medicine ingredients. So we'll be supplying a natural medicine firm or a natural skincare provider or a developer with pomegranates or witch hazelnuts or whatever we can grow here. We really haven't gone down that path yet, but it's something in the back of my mind that I think would add really very nicely to our holistic context that we have, our values and where we want to head as a business. And also a contribution to the natural well-being of people. One of the things we're very serious about is our animals have no chemicals. We want to have natural good food for our customers and chemical-free. And so if we can actually add to that by adding a chemical-free ingredient into skincare or to homeopathic treatments, then that would be fantastic as well. So Picot's farm has had a long history and it has a very bright future.